You are walking through a minefield, blindfolded. Every day, you interact with coworkers, friends, and strangers, treating them with a general level of politeness or casual indifference. You believe that being yourself is enough. You think that if you are fair to everyone, everyone will be fair to you. Here is the jarring truth. That belief is a death sentence. In your social circle, right now, there is a person whose ego is a fragile pane of glass. There is another whose heart is a vault of ancient grudges. There is a wolf in sheep's clothing waiting for you to make one slip, one misplaced joke, one accidental slight. You don't know who they are, but they know who you are. By treating everyone the same, you are gambling with your future. You are one wrong sentence away from a vendetta that will last a decade. Today, the archive reveals the secret of social architecture. I will show you how to peel back the masks. I will show you how to identify the 5 dangerous types of people before they identify you. This secret will change the way you see every human being you ever meet. Why is Law 19 a law of nature? Because human beings are not equal. Our brains are wired for tribal survival, but we have lost the ability to categorize threats in the modern world. In the ancient wilderness, you knew a predator by its teeth. Today, a predator wears a suit and uses a like button as a weapon. This is the hidden foundation. The ego is an evolutionary survival mechanism. For some, the ego is a shield. For others, it is a ticking bomb. Deep within the limbic system, a social insult is processed with the same intensity as a physical wound. When you offend the wrong person, their brain enters a permanent state of fight or flight. They cannot rest until the threat, which is you, is neutralized. The elite, the kings, the CEOs, the master strategists understand that there is no such thing as a generic interaction. Every person is a unique psychological landscape. Law 19 is the ancient art of sizing up. It is the realization that the world is divided into predators, prey, and ghosts. The master knows that the most dangerous person is not the one who screams at you. It is the one who smiles, says nothing, and waits 3 years for the perfect moment to ruin your life. Let us enter the archive to examine the most expensive insult in human history. In the year 1218, the Shah Muhammad of Khwarezm ruled a powerful empire. He was wealthy and arrogant. A trade caravan arrived from the east, sent by a relatively unknown nomad named Genghis Khan. The Khan wanted peace and trade, but the Shah made a fatal psychological error. He looked at the Khan's messengers and saw savages. He saw people beneath him. The Shah seized the caravan and killed the messengers, thinking he was showing strength. He didn't realize he was dealing with the most calculated, vengeful strategist to ever walk the earth. Genghis Khan did not react with immediate blind rage. He went to a mountain, prayed for 3 days, and then meticulously planned the destruction of an entire civilization. He didn't just attack the Shah's army, he erased the Shah's empire from the map. He diverted rivers to wash away the Shah's birthplace. He filled the Shah's ears and eyes with molten silver. The Shah offended the wrong person. He mistook a strategist for a barbarian. If the Shah had studied the Khan, if he had known his history of ruthlessness, he would have offered his gold instead of his sword. You are ready to stop being blind. To master Law 19, you must implement these 5 power moves. Move 1 is the ego probe. When meeting a new person of influence, test their ego early with a small, harmless, controlled mistake. Offer a very slight, polite correction on a trivial topic and watch their eyes. Does their face tighten? Do they immediately try to assert dominance? If so, you are dealing with a fragile ego. This person is a minefield. From this moment on, you treat them with exaggerated deference. You become their most loyal mirror. Move 2 is the background audit. In the age of social media, ignorance is a choice. Never enter a high-stakes meeting without knowing the past scars of the key players. Who have they worked with? Who are their enemies? Knowing a person's history allows you to avoid forbidden topics and navigate their psychological trauma before you accidentally trigger it. Move 3 is calculated deference. If you suspect someone is a vengeful strategist, hide your intelligence. Use phrases like, "I'm not entirely sure about this. Perhaps you could explain the nuance to me." By appearing slightly less capable, you disarm their suspicion. The wrong person to offend is often the one who feels threatened by your potential. Let them think they are the teacher while you observe their playbook. Move 4 is the temperament mirror. Stop being yourself and start being the complement to their temperament. If they are cold and logical, be brief and data-driven. If they are emotional and expressive, be a warm listener. People rarely attack those who feel like a part of themselves. By mirroring, you become safe. You are no longer a target, you are an ally. Move 5 is the ghost exit. If your scan reveals that a person is a pure predator or a narcissistic black hole, do not try to outsmart them. Quietly, slowly, and politely withdraw from their inner circle. Do not make it a dramatic breakup. Just become boring. Become a ghost. These predators only attack those who provide them with conflict energy. If you give them neither, they will look for another target. There is a heavy price for this knowledge. Once you learn to know who you are dealing with, you can never unsee the truth. You will realize that most people are governed by fear and insecurity. This is the difference between the loud alpha and the silent sigma. The alpha offends people constantly because he thinks his status protects him. He walks into rooms like a bulldozer, making enemies he doesn't even know exist. Eventually, those enemies unite to tear him down. The sigma knows that every person is a potential ally or a potential assassin. The sigma scans the room before he speaks. He treats the janitor with the same strategic politeness as the CEO, because the janitor hears the secrets the CEO hides. If you are careless with your words, you will incur resentment debt. This debt doesn't show up on a bank statement. It shows up years later, when you need a favor and the door is locked, or when a rumor destroys your reputation and you don't know who started it. The archive is closing for today, but the world outside is full of masks. Tonight, I want you to look at your friends and your rivals. Stop seeing what they show you. Start seeing what they hide. Are you dealing with a Shah Muhammad, or are you dealing with a Genghis Khan? Your life depends on the answer. This is an educational fan channel dedicated to the surgical wisdom of Robert Greene. We study the darkness so we can walk through it safely. If you are ready to stop being the target and start being the architect, subscribe to Unlock the Archive. I have a final question for the observers. Who is the most dangerous person you've ever met, and how did you find out? Leave your most complex question in the comments below. The archive is listening. Stay observant, stay masked, stay powerful.